This is a... And we're back. I am Frank Lepore. We're here with Caleb Durward. We're at round 5 of the TCGPlayer Max Point Championship in Columbus, Ohio. We have actually 2 spicy brews here. So this looks like it's going to be one of the better feature matches today.
Well, Kevin Clock's deck isn't necessarily a brew, but it's a lesser played deck. It did top 8 the Pro Tour, black-white mid-range.
That was like a year ago.
That was not like a year ago.
It was like a month ago.
Still very recent. But Soldier of the Pantheon, Precinct Captain, Desecration Demon, some Banisher Priests.
A Blood Baron of an Elspeth.
Lots of individually powerful threats, backed up with some removal, some Thoughtseizes, some Read the Bones.
And you're not stretching your mana very thin because you have the 8 dual lands. He also has 3 Orzhov Guildgates, which brings his dual land count up to 11.
Right. That's very good mana.
Yeah, that's
well, he needs double white on turn 3 and double black on turn 4.
And double black and double white on turn 5, so...
Right, yeah. Oh, and we're already off. Brad Nelson out of the gates with a turn 1 Legion Loyalist.
That guy is very loyal to the Legion. You know what I'm saying right now. You know what's going
Nelson's deck's so aggressive. Turn 2 Ash Zealot attack. His deck is full of Titan Strengths, Madcap skills, Foundry Street Denizens. Foundry Street Denizen and a Current Crusader are have very neat little interactions.
Foundry Street Denizen and the Crusader?
Yeah.
Which makes 1/1 and
which pumps the Denizen, and the 1/1s have haste.
Little known fact for people who don't read that card is yes, the 1/1s have haste. I was just gonna mention that. Because a lot of people I was like, oh hey, I guess I'll attack. Enchant this guy. Oh, it has haste. Dang
Soldier of the Pantheon, a pretty good card. Not very good against this board state. No multicolored creatures here. One of the best things about Soldier of the Pantheon is that it bricks cards like Boros Reckoner. Brad Nelson deciding. I think I see a Madcap skills in his hand.
Oh, that would be a good one.
He leads off with Dragon Mantle on the Legion Loyalist.
Jeez. That Legion Loyalist.
If he had another haste creature here, the Legion Loyalist would get the Battle Cry bonus when it attacks, and it would have first strike.
Oh,
but
that's true.
But it doesn't look like Brad Nelson has that.
I like that a lot, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
It also means that tokens can't block it, which could be relevant later in this matchup because Kevin Clock does have Precinct Captain in his deck. And Elspeth. Though I don't think Elspeth will be in post-board. Kevin Clock asks to read the Legion Loyalist. It's fair. It's got a lot of abilities.
What does this guy even do?
Right. It does everything.
It's actually, it's a lesser known played card, so a lesser known...
I played
that makes sense, right?
I played it in
a lesser known card, I guess.
Domri aggro last season as another way of giving Wolfir's Silverheart trample. It's pretty good.
That seems degenerate.
Well, you had Gorklan Rampager, which was a creature form of trample.
That's a good dude,
did a lot of work. But you always wanted more of that.
Oh boy.
Oh geez, that's another Legion Loyalist.
Oh man.
And now like Madcap skills could come down on one of these 1/1s.
Is Kevin... Yeah, okay. I was like, is Kevin sandbagging removal here? And yeah, he is, so that's good.
I don't like that. The sorcery speed... It's not sorcery speed, but... The hero's downfall on the 1/1.
I know, it feels underwhelming, right?
Like, you might want to wait for Brad to put some mana into the Dragon Mantle first.
Right, exactly.
Or maybe you want to get one of the creatures that's naturally a 2x, like the Ash Zealot or the Arena Athlete. If he hopes to block ever, you would think he would kill the Arena Athlete.
Yeah, I'm very surprised he's keeping his Arena or his Soldier back. Like, I don't know if that does anything for you in this matchup.
It's not blocking, it's not attacking.
Brad doesn't have...
It's just been this brick so far.
Brad, like, I don't even know if there's that many gold cards that Brad could be playing.
There are. He's got Rakdos Cackler in the 75. And Burning Tree Emissary. So there's two gold cards.
Two.
But you'd think those would have already come down. Yeah. Brad Nelson's being very...
Searing Spirit, drop you to 6.
Very patient with these Madcap skills in his hand. He doesn't want to get blown out by a removal spell.
Yeah, makes sense. But I mean, being able to give all your guys... Well, he wouldn't even trade with the Arena Athlete because Legion Loyalists would give a first strike, so...
Right.
Yeah, so it's... Oh, well...
But he's going for lethal here.
No blocks. Yep, and that's the end.
Kevin Clock out of removal.
Kevin Clock
out of time. Just dead.
Playing 2 spells that game.
Yeah.
At a time. At a time on his
Turn
clock.
1, 2-1. Turn 3, kill your guy. Turn 4, dead.
Looks
that
like
was how that game went.
Kevin Clock ran out.
But yeah, Kevin's clock ran out. Oh my god. The puns keep coming. TCGPlayer state championships. Last year there were 2.
This year there were 2.
This year there were 2. Next year there's going to be 3.
So we have a limited state championships in the spring, which is going to be Theros and Born of the Gods. In the fall, in the summer, we have modern state championships. For all you guys who are excited about modern, you want an extra modern tournament, go ahead and play in the modern state championships. You can be claimed the modern state champ. And then in the fall, when the sets rotate, we have the standard state championships again, just like this year. So if you guys are just looking for more events that are local, just go ahead. There's going to be 3 state championships, so go out there and play some Magic.
3 fresh formats.
Yeah, and that's what people like. People like the variety. Like, there's a guaranteed limited format, a guaranteed standard format, and a guaranteed modern format.
It seems fun. It would be kind of boring if all of these were standard.
If they were all standard, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we already have enough standard formats as it is, you know?
Well, it's the most popular format.
Yeah. Is Brad's deck a Boros deck or is it a red-white deck?
It's just mono-red. There are 17 mountains and 1 Mutavault, and that is his mana base. The 1 Mutavault's interesting. I think he can get away with the lower land count, 1, because his curve stops at 2, and also because he has 4 quad Dragon Mantle. So he has 4 cantrips in there.
Do you think this isn't the same list that Anthony Eason was playing, is it?
No,
okay.
It's very different. Eason was playing, he was also playing a Burning Tree Emissary deck that wanted to play a Foundry Street Denizen and then dump its hand.
Right.
Brad Nelson here is playing a Brew.
Yeah,
it's even more aggressive than Eason's list.
Yeah, this is like the craziest, like, Theros cards that you could think. Like, this has definitely been an event where people are just like taking their draft commons and throwing them into
right,
decks.
Yeah. And I thought about something like this. I thought, like, I won enough games of Limited with Ekrone Crusader and Dragon Mantle that I thought they could be constructed playable.
Yeah, you're like, these guys are
I didn't put it together with
here.
Madcap skills, though. And Foundry Street Denizen, with those tools, the engine actually seems...
With these powers combined.
Right. Very good. Very brutal. Let's look at the sideboards here. I don't think Brad Nelson is going to bring in much. He's got 4 Fire Drinker Satyr.
Do you think
3
Skullcrack is a relevant
Shock,
card?
Active Treason, Coordinated Assault, 3 Skullcrack, 3 Peak Eruption.
Peak Eruption's obviously not going to be that relevant.
Yeah, there's no mountains.
As in, not at all. Skullcrack seems like it could be good. When he has Blood Barons or Obzidats, maybe?
There is 1 Blood Baron and 2 Obzidats in Kevin Clock's main, so those will probably stay in for sure. And a Whip of Erebos. So there are plenty of ways where Skullcrack could gain extra value.
And usually, when you Skullcrack, you're usually only needing 1 or 2 more turns in order to actually just, put the game away.
Kevin Clock's sideboard has a Doomblade, a Blood Baron of Vizcapa, 3 Fiendslayer Paladins. Those are probably coming in.
I like a Fiendslayer Paladin. Yeah, it seems real good. Even if you could just get rid of even if you could just get rid of Brad's guys 1 for 1, it seems fine.
Just trading with another first striker.
Trading as on a 1-for-1 basis. And even if he gets rid of the Fiendslayer, he's using like a I'm actually thinking of Banisher Priest.
Yeah, no, that's different.
Yeah, so
the Banisher Priests are in the main deck.
But like Fiendslayer just being able to gain life is also huge. Like,
oh yeah, it's got lifelink and it has first strike too, right?
It has lifelink and first strike, and it has protection from red and black spells.
Not that Brad Nelson has any way of casting a red or black spell to kill it. Like, he has shocks in the board, but I don't know if they even come in.
Well, he had a searing. He had a lightning
they probably
strike.
do. Huh?
He had a lightning strike.
Oh yeah, he's got lightning strikes in the main. You're right.
So
you're right.
You can't target the Fiendslayer Paladin with those.
And it's not like Brad Nelson has many cards that are good at blocking Fiendslayer Paladin.
No, not at all. But it's a heck of a wall. It can just sit there and like have to find an answer for it.
Ash Zealot can, but that's about it.
That's fair. But they trade at least.
Right. At least they trade.
And you gain 2, which is
you gain 2 life.
Gaining 2 life in this format is essentially making them discard a shock. Do
you think Kevin Clock leaves it in his Thought Seizes?
I don't. This is actually an area of contention with a lot of people, I think, because like you don't want to take damage from the Thought Seizes, right? But by taking a 2/2 out of their hand, you're taking a significantly less damage than you would
lightning strike.
Right.
I like leaving the Thought Seizes in, mostly because Kevin Clock also has like Read the Bones and Elspeth, cards that are way worse in the matchup that he already wants to take out.
So you can take those out instead.
Right. And bring in like Doomblade, the Fiendslayers, the second Blood Baron. Yeah, that makes sense.
Man, game 1 was not even close.
It was blisteringly fast.
That was a bloodbath.
It's like they shuffled up, and then they drew their opening hands, and then the game was over faster.
And then they showed each other their hands, and they're like, I got you. Okay, let's go to game 2.
Them shuffling took longer than the actual game did.
Yeah, I think they shuffled longer in between games even than it took.
Brad
for
Nelson's
the
deck
game.
seems like it would be a blast to multi-queue on Moto with.
Yeah,
I know not everyone's a fan of multi-queuing on Moto, but if you're ending the game in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, you're actually, how much time are you really wasting? You're probably still, even after multi-queuing, you're probably still taking as much time as half a regular match.
Right, and you're probably, like your games are probably over before your next match starts.
Yeah, I imagine they still would be.
He did bring in the Fire Drinker Satyrs.
Apparently that guy looks like me. People say that guy looks like me.
Yeah, he's a little bit more red-faced.
I mean, sometimes I get angry.
Would we like you when you're angry?
That's my secret, Caleb. I'm always angry.
You're all mono
there you
anger.
go. Look at this guy.
All anger all the time. You know they can't see your impression.
I know, but they will one day.
One day.
So you guys can see him on the screen right now, which is pretty good.
Precinct Captain, pretty good blocker, but it gets lightning struck out of the way.
It goes the way of the buffalo, my friend. Fire Crusader is really good when no one is blocking him.
This is true. I do think Kevin Clock has enough blockers in his deck to make Satyr probably not ideal.
Right.
But Brad Nelson couldn't really know that. He only saw one creature last game.
Fire Crusader is like a reverse Boros Reckoner. It's like what happens when Boros Reckoner gets
Kevin
drunk
Clock
at the
did
party.
not have a creature either. Double white Mutavault. It's interesting to not have a 3-drop because he has 3 Banisher Priest and the 3 Fiendslayer Paladins.
Oh, Kevin
so you'd think with Plains,
Brad
Mutavault,
gets in there for 4.
you would have a 3-drop with that opener. I guess he was banking on the Precinct Captain living.
Yeah, I mean, when you keep... Oh, I guess we're trading with the Satyr, which is actually pretty fine.
I like that.
Yeah, you really want to conserve your life total as much as possible in this matchup.
Your life total is more land drops.
Brad had another 1-drop. The fact that the tokens
We've got a reader
that guy
here.
have haste is really relevant.
Definitely.
Because you could just go Titan Strength, and have 4 creatures.
It gives you turn 4 kills in limited.
Yeah.
Think about what it can do in constructed.
I don't want to.
I do.
Don't make me.
Turn 1 Crusader, turn 2 Madcap skills it.
I told you not to make me
attack you for 5.
What's he gonna... Does he have a play this turn, though, with a tap land?
I don't think so. I think he's just scrying. I see some black cards in his hand. Despite having 11 dual lands.
I wonder if this is going to be an explosive turn for Brad. Yep, there's one.
And the Dragon Mantle can pump the Crusader, too.
Jeez. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 damage. That's drops Kevin to 11.
We see a Josh Utterlayton token.
Kevin at 11. And then he drops Burning Tree and Arena Athlete. Oh, boy.
He generated 3 creatures this turn.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. And one of them says, whatever you play can't block.
And one of them says haste. Like,
oh, boy.
Pretty sickening. Imagine if Brad had already had a Foundry Street Denizen in play.
If Brad has a pump spell, like, Kevin's just dead.
Interesting. I like the Keening Apparition just because it's a blocker. Like, a blocker is a removal spell in this matchup.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's good enough. Like, if Brad has a pump spell, it just can't block. And then he just pumps the Crusader up, like, infinite.
Correct. Any pump spell, any burn spell, and this game should just be over.
Titan Strength, go! This might be... There it is. GG.
That looks like game.
That was ridiculous.
Like very game.
He's like in response.
Brad choosing to Titan Strength before his draw step.
Upkeep, yeah, so that you can see what you're going to draw. In response, pump 2.
I'm going to pump it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the end.
That is lethal.
Well, it wouldn't have been. How much did he... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It would have been 10. He would have went to 1. He would have had to pump the other... Right? Maybe? I don't know. I
didn't count it up, but
I mean, he could.
The players did.
It was relevant enough. But
switching over to another match here.
Switching over real quick.
Now this is Josh McClain and Joe Bernal. Joe Bernal on the left, McClain on the right. We have a green-black versus mono-blue matchup here.
And the green-black is Devotion. They're both Devotion-based decks.
Right.
Because Devotion is a fair mechanic, guys.
Looking in Joe Burnell's sideboard, we see a Thoughtseize and a Freaka's Cure, so we can see how the game has gone so far.
I imagine this is game 2, not game 3.
The Thoughtseize took Frostburn Weird, and the Freaka's Cure got to eat Tidebinder Mage. So a pretty good start for Joe here.
Yeah, because you're definitely that keeps him off 4 Devotion, which is really good for against the blue deck.
Interesting that the Vraska ticked up as opposing to eating the Nightveil Spectre.
That is interesting, actually.
As opposing to. I meant to say as opposed to.
I wasn't going to even correct you. I was going to let you ride it out.
Hope the folks at home didn't notice.
Well, I mean, they did after you pointed it out. It was all you. I mean, you self-sabotaged there.
I think you got to own up to your mistakes.
I don't. You do.
Sounds like a double standard, Frank.
Yeah, it is a little bit, I'll be honest with you.
I wish I was the face of TCGPlayer and could hold the people to crazy standards as I saw fit.
Yeah, well, it's kind of one of the perks.
One of the crazy perks. And McLean actually has 3 mana tapped, so I don't actually know whose turn it is.
Yeah, they haven't done much since we've cut over here, actually.
They both just kind of sat. Maybe McLean's considering what he wants to attack.
I can't hear McLean without thinking of Die Hard here. McLean. That's from Die Hard. Pick one. I don't care.
Is that a TV show or something?
I'm sorry. What?
Die. What did you say?
Caleb Durward, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of which, I'm Frank Lepore here with Caleb Durward. We're at the TCGPlayer Max Point Championship in Columbus, Ohio.
People playing here for $50,000.
You think? You're not sure? Oh, we are. 50. You know how much of that we see?
A modicum. Wait, no, none of it.
That's right. You got it. Because we are not players, ladies and gentlemen. We are in round 5. This is the last standard round for the day. Tomorrow we're going to go to Modern.
Nightveil Spectre getting a land off of the top of Joe Burnell's deck.
You know what card I like?
What's that?
Master of Waves.
I don't think it does much here. The Vraska could even eat it if Joe Burnell didn't have another answer.
Vraska's a hungry lady.
And Vraska could eat the Master and still not die to a Nightveil Spectre attack.
Yeah, it would go to 1.
That's pretty hot.
Because Joe's ticking her up. Like a clock.
Maybe he wants to kill Josh McLean with the Death Touch assassin tokens.
I have done that before, twice. 2 times I lived that dream.
Was it to the same person?
No.
Because that would be amazing.
Completely different people. I feel like it was better with different people because in the same person it could just be the same match. Big deal. No, this was on 2 separate occasions.
Looks like Joe has a Grey Merchant in hand. I haven't seen the rest of it. Plays a Temple of Mystery. How mysterious.
I don't even know what that temple is even doing. It's so mysterious. That art's really good, though. I love that art because it really pops.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot, too. It's very clear which land it is.
Right, exactly. And it's... You notice about Magic cards that, like, the art is always reflective of the color of the card.
Yeah, I like that, too.
Like, red cards will always be heavy red. Green cards will always have a lot of heavy greens in them.
So Joe decides to keep the card on top with his Scry, and he ticks Vraska up.
Oh,
decides to upkeep Freaka's Cure.
He's not even gonna. He's ticking that Vraska up, dude.
Yeah, he's going for the Vraska win.
The thing is, if he does go for the Vraska win, Josh can't really even do anything about it. Like,
he can play a Master of Waves and block.
That Master of Waves would just die.
Maybe. I mean, if you look at Joe's hand here, it's only 2 cards. One is a land, one is a Grey Merchant.
He'll get it. He'll get the removal. Like a boss.
Which makes me think that he needed to Freaka's Cure as a sorcery.
Main phase?
Yeah, to keep Josh from having the chance to, like, negate it or something. Because that's a card Josh could have post-board.
What phase are we in right now?
We're in McLean's upkeep.
Okay. Interesting that he would choose it during upkeep.
Yeah. Like I said, I would have cast it as a sorcery.
I think he just wants to keep. I mean, because Josh hasn't drawn any more cards. I think he actually just wants to make sure Josh taps his mana on his turn.
But like, if Josh had had a negate in his hand, it would have been kind of a blowout because the tokens could have eaten Vraska. It would have been very good for him. Whereas when he's tapped out, if Joe does it, then it doesn't matter.
But I mean, to be fair, as it stands now, Josh rapid hybridization his own master, and it would have been able to attack if he did it on his turn.
No, the master would have been dead. It would have been Freakus cured.
Right, but in response to the Freakus cure, he rapid hybridization.
Did he have a blue up? I don't think he did. I thought he was tapped out.
He has 6 lands, so I assume he had 5. He only played. He only played master.
You're probably right. You're right.
I mean, he would have had 5 lands at the time.
That's correct. He would have taken 3 more damage.
Yeah. So and that would have either gone to Vraska or just to Joe's face. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's probably what Joe was thinking about.
And Joe
too.
probably knew that he had rapid hybridization in the deck. So like.
Oh, he might have even known that it was in Josh's hand from the earlier thought seeds.
Right. Exactly.
Which we didn't get to see.
So we're putting it together. We're piecing it together. A tiny Gray Merchant for only 3, but still not bad.
Still relevant. He's taking some Spectre hits. The ultimate Vraska here.
Do you just ignore her? You can't ignore her, right? You just have to. He could actually go to 8 and then just put her down to 1 if he wants to keep her around.
Okay, he finally decides to kill the Nightvale Spectre.
Interesting. Wonder why now?
Well, now he has a blocker for McLean's 3/3. The Vraska will live.
Yeah.
I think Joe was hoping that Josh would get some wonky cards under the Nightvale Spectre, cards like Grey Merchant, things that he couldn't cast, and then he would kill it.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is a great domestication. He gets to kill the Vraska, and he gets the 2/4.
I don't know. I'm wondering if getting
Josh McLean
off of
is up again.
I'm wondering if getting off of the Vraska plan was really the right choice.
You would have preferred to like ultimate it or keep ticking it up?
Maybe. I mean, it's just because he couldn't attack Vraska if he's at 19. Like his life total's not relevant.
It's kind of relevant.
Right, not right this second though.
Against mono blue, like they can just play a Thassa and make things unblockable for a few turns. I can respect wanting to stay at a high life total. And now that Josh had 2 lands out of god,
it's awkward for everybody now. Tap your guy, draw 2. Oh, draw 2. Draw 2, Caleb. God. That card is so good. Like, why is it? It's misleadingly good. It seems like.
Bident?
Yeah,
it is the best card in this matchup.
Oh yeah, by far, because the black deck doesn't have many blockers, and the blockers it does have, you can easily be like, I'll just sack this.
And
token.
There's no sweeper.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It keeps coming back to that.
Joe Bernal, while he does have a green splash here, I don't think he is running the sweeper. No, he is not, unless you count Golgari Charm, which is probably in his deck right now, but it's not really a sweeper in this board state. Probably just kill Bident.
Joe Biden.
And there comes Thassa. So beating an active Thassa plus Bident is
really
almost
difficult.
impossible for the mono black deck.
Everything's coming together.
Or
See,
black green devotion. I
feel like we should have saved the Vraska for the Bidens.
That's fair. He would still lose the Vraska to the Thassa though.
But the creature, yeah. But
and Josh would have gotten like 3 more Nightvale Spectre hits. He'd be beating Joe with his own deck at this point.
Maybe that's better. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Lose to your own deck as opposed to your opponent's.
Yeah.
Josh McLean has actually got a GP win under his belt, I believe.
Does he?
Maybe it's just a few top 8s, but I know he did well in the GP Detroit.
Let's see what comes up.
I think he won that one. Yeah, he won that one with Junk Pod. So that's probably what he's playing in Modern again.
That would make sense.
Joe Bernal is more known for his play on the open circuit.
Birthing Pod is definitely a card in Modern.
He'll probably be playing Blue White Red Twin in Modern because it's the deck that he has the most experience with.
Yeah, Splendor Twin is also a deck in Modern.
And we're switching over to Modern right after this match, isn't that correct?
This is the last match of Modern.
Right.
We'll probably take a brief break right after this round, and then we'll come back with some Modern action.
Joe passes the turn. To be honest, I don't see a way for Joe to get back into this game, which I'm sure Josh is very excited about. He's drawing all the cards.
I mean, I would be,
He's making all the creatures unblockable. He's probably having a ton of fun.
When I'm playing Magic, one of the main things I want my opponents not to be able to do is get back into the game. I'm like, hey, can you stay out of this game for a little bit?
That's a master for a lot of devotion. What
is that thing underneath it with the counters on it right now?
Huh?
What is the thing to the right on the very top?
The Cloudfin Raptor?
Is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah.
Double evolve.
Just pretty hot. That's an ultimate price on the Master. Josh McClain playing very deliberately here. He doesn't want to give Joe an out to get back into the game. Counting up damage. Josh doesn't mind committing a lot of cards to the board here because he knows that he's going to be drawing a pile of cards off of the Bident. So even if Joe does have a sweeper in his deck in the form of Gaze of Granite,
yeah.
Josh would just be able to reload. The Thassa would still be alive.
And it's even better when you have things like Mutavault too, because then you're just like, well, okay, you tapped out, I'll activate 3 Mutavaults, draw 3.
And McLean's last Mutavault was sacked to tap a Desecration Demon, but
do you remember when draw 3 was such a huge? You're like, wow, 3 cards.
4 cards, because the Thassa's attacking 2.
No, I'm just saying though, draw 3 in general as a thing. Like that's a powerful.
It's
thing.
a lot of cards, yes.
But now you're just like you're almost able to do it every single turn with this crummy 4-mana rare. You know?
Are you talking about Bident? Yeah. Bident, probably the more underappreciated of the weapons.
So was that 2 games? Was that
was 2 games.
Josh McClain 2-0 has bested Joe Burnell 2-0.
Like I said to you earlier, Mono Blue is probably Mono Black's one of the rougher matchups in the format.